Hello everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm really happy you're here today. In this episode, we're going to talk about something that almost everyone struggles with at some point in their life: confidence. More specifically, we'll discuss how to become more confident, step by step, in a realistic and practical way. Confidence is a word we hear all the time. People say things like, "You just need to be more confident," or "She's so confident, that's why she's successful." But what does confidence actually mean? And more importantly, how can you build it if you don't naturally feel confident? Let's start with a simple definition. Confidence is the belief that you can handle a situation or complete a task. It doesn't mean you are perfect. It doesn't mean you never feel nervous or make mistakes. It simply means you trust yourself enough to try. Many people believe that confidence is something you are born with. They think some people are naturally confident and others are not. But this is not completely true. While personality can play a role, confidence is mostly a skill. And like any skill, it can be learned and improved with practice. So if you sometimes feel shy, unsure of yourself, or afraid of what others think, don't worry. You are not alone, and you are not stuck this way forever. Today, I'll share several simple habits and ideas that can help you become more confident over time. Let's begin with the first important idea: confidence grows from action, not from thinking. Many people wait until they feel confident before they try something new. They think, "I'll speak in the meeting when I feel ready," or "I'll apply for that job when I feel more confident." But the truth is, confidence usually comes after you act, not before. Imagine learning to swim. You can read books about swimming, watch videos, and talk to experts, but you won't feel confident until you actually get into the water and practice. At first, you may feel uncomfortable or even scared. But after a few tries, your body learns, your mind relaxes, and you slowly start to trust yourself. The same is true for many situations in life. If you avoid speaking in public, talking to new people, or trying new things, your brain learns that these situations are dangerous. But when you take small risks and survive them, your brain learns that you are capable. So one of the best ways to build confidence is to take small actions regularly. You don't need to do something dramatic or scary right away. Start with something small, like asking a question in class, sharing your opinion in a group chat, or starting a short conversation with a colleague. Every small action is like a message to your brain that says, "I can do this." And over time, these messages build a stronger and stronger sense of confidence. Now let's talk about another important factor: the way you speak to yourself. We all have an inner voice, the voice in our head that comments on what we do. Sometimes this voice is helpful and encouraging. But often, it is very critical. It says things like, "You're not good enough," "You're going to embarrass yourself," or "Everyone is better than you." This negative self-talk can seriously damage your confidence. If you hear these messages all day, every day, you will start to believe them, even if they are not true. One powerful way to become more confident is to learn to notice and challenge this negative voice. The next time you catch yourself thinking, "I can't do this," try to pause and ask yourself, "Is this really true? Or is this just fear speaking?" You don't have to replace every negative thought with a very positive one. You don't need to say, "I am the best in the world." Instead, try to use more balanced and realistic thoughts. For example, instead of saying, "I will definitely fail," you could say, "This might be difficult, but I can prepare and try my best." This kind of thinking is more honest and much more helpful. It gives you space to try without feeling like a failure before you even start. Another key element of confidence is body language. The way you stand, walk, and move can influence not only how others see you, but also how you see yourself. When people feel nervous or insecure, they often make themselves physically smaller. They look down, avoid eye contact, and cross their arms. This body language sends a message to others that you are unsure. But interestingly, it also sends a message to your own brain. If you want to feel more confident, try to practice open and relaxed body language. Stand or sit up straight, keep your shoulders relaxed, and try to make gentle eye contact when speaking with someone. You don't need to stare at them all the time, just look at them naturally during the conversation. At first, this might feel strange or even uncomfortable. But just like any habit, it becomes more natural with practice. And as your body language changes, people may start to respond to you differently, which can further increase your confidence. Now let's discuss something that many people don't like to talk about: failure. One of the biggest reasons people lack confidence is the fear of failing or making mistakes. They imagine the worst possible result and feel so uncomfortable that they decide not to try at all. But failure is a normal and necessary part of learning. Think about how children learn to walk. They fall down many times, but they don't think, "I'm terrible at this, I should stop trying." They simply get up and try again. As adults, we often forget this natural way of learning. We expect ourselves to be good at things immediately. And when we are not, we feel embarrassed or ashamed. To become more confident, it is important to change the way you see failure. Instead of seeing it as proof that you are not good enough, try to see it as information. Every mistake shows you what doesn't work and what you can improve next time. For example, if you give a presentation and feel that it didn't go well, instead of thinking, "I'm bad at speaking," you could ask yourself, "What can I do differently next time? Maybe I need to practice more, or speak more slowly, or prepare clearer slides." This mindset turns failure into a tool for growth, rather than a reason to give up. Another practical way to build confidence is to prepare well for important situations. Confidence is not only about positive thinking, it is also about knowing that you have done your homework. If you have a job interview, you can research the company, practice common interview questions, and prepare examples from your past experience. If you have to speak in public, you can practice your speech several times, maybe even record yourself and listen to it. Preparation doesn't guarantee that everything will be perfect, but it reduces uncertainty. And when there is less uncertainty, your brain feels safer, which naturally increases your confidence. Let's also talk about the people around you. The environment you are in can have a big impact on how confident you feel. If you spend a lot of time with people who criticize you, laugh at your ideas, or make you feel small, it is very difficult to build confidence. On the other hand, if you are surrounded by people who support you, listen to you, and respect your opinions, you are more likely to feel secure and valued. Of course, we cannot always choose all the people in our lives. But we can try to spend more time with those who encourage us and less time with those who constantly bring us down. Even one supportive friend, teacher, or colleague can make a big difference. Another helpful habit is to set small, realistic goals and celebrate your progress. Sometimes people want to become confident overnight. They set very big goals, like "I will never feel nervous again," or "I will always speak perfectly in every situation." When they cannot reach these goals, they feel disappointed and lose motivation. A better approach is to break big changes into small steps. For example, if you are afraid of speaking in groups, your first goal could be to say one sentence during a meeting. That's it. Just one sentence. When you achieve this, take a moment to recognize it. You did something that was difficult for you, and that is worth celebrating. Over time, you can increase the challenge. Maybe next time you share a longer opinion, or you ask a question. Each small success builds evidence that you are capable, and this evidence is the foundation of real confidence. It is also important to remember that confidence does not mean being loud, dominant, or always the center of attention. Many people are naturally quiet or introverted, and that is perfectly fine. You don't need to change your personality to be confident. A confident introverted person may not speak all the time, but when they do speak, they express their ideas clearly and calmly. They don't feel the need to prove themselves constantly. Confidence is about feeling comfortable with who you are, not about acting like someone else. Let's talk for a moment about comparison. In the age of social media, it is very easy to compare yourself to others. You see people who seem more successful, more attractive, more outgoing, or more talented. This constant comparison can slowly destroy your confidence. What we often forget is that we usually see only the best moments of other people's lives. We don't see their failures, their fears, or the hard work behind their success. Comparing your everyday life to someone else's highlight reel is not fair to you. A healthier approach is to compare yourself only to your past self. Ask yourself, am I more confident than I was a year ago? Have I learned new skills? Have I tried things that used to scare me? If the answer is yes, then you are moving in the right direction, and that is something to be proud of. Another technique that can help is visualization. This means imagining yourself successfully doing something that makes you nervous. For example, before a presentation, you can close your eyes and picture yourself speaking clearly, the audience listening, and the presentation ending well. This might sound a bit strange, but our brains often react to imagined experiences in a similar way to real ones. Visualization can help you feel more familiar with a situation before it actually happens, which can reduce anxiety and increase your sense of control. Let's not forget the importance of taking care of your physical and mental health. When you are very tired, stressed, or unwell, it is much harder to feel confident. You may become more sensitive to criticism and more doubtful of your abilities. Simple habits like getting enough sleep, eating regularly, exercising, and taking breaks when you need them can have a surprising effect on your confidence. When your body feels stronger and more balanced, your mind often feels stronger too. I'd also like to mention that building confidence is a journey, not a quick fix. There will be days when you feel brave and capable, and other days when you feel insecure again. This is completely normal. Progress is rarely a straight line. What matters is not that you feel confident every single day, but that you keep moving forward and don't give up on yourself. Even confident people have moments of doubt. The difference is that they don't let those moments stop them from acting. As we come closer to the end of this episode, let's quickly review some of the key ideas we discussed today. First, confidence grows from action. Don't wait until you feel ready, start with small steps and let confidence build naturally from your experiences. Second, pay attention to your inner voice. Try to replace very negative thoughts with more balanced and realistic ones. Third, use your body language to support your confidence. Stand and sit in an open, relaxed way, and practice natural eye contact. Fourth, change your relationship with failure. See mistakes as opportunities to learn rather than proof that you are not good enough. Fifth, prepare well for important situations. Good preparation reduces fear and helps you feel more in control. Sixth, spend time with people who support and respect you, and try to limit the influence of those who constantly criticize you. Seventh, set small goals and celebrate your progress. Confidence grows when you see clear evidence that you are improving. Eighth, avoid unhealthy comparisons with others, especially on social media. Focus on your own growth and your own journey. Ninth, use visualization to mentally prepare for challenging situations. And finally, take care of your physical and mental health, because a healthy body and mind make it easier to feel confident. If you remember nothing else from this episode, I hope you remember this: confidence is not something you either have or don't have. It is something you build, day by day, through small actions, kind self-talk, and patience with yourself. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I hope these ideas give you some useful tools and maybe a little motivation to take your first or next step toward becoming more confident. If you found this episode helpful, you might want to listen to it again in a few weeks and notice how your thoughts and feelings change as you start to practice some of these strategies. Take care of yourself, keep practicing, and I'll talk to you again in the next episode.